right, so let's talk about it. Did you get in touch with Elon yet?
No.
He didn't call you back?
I texted Vivek though.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Nothing. Nothing really.
Did he go back and forth with you at all?
I don't. Well, a little bit. I don't want to get into. I don't want to be like a. I don't want to tell every text message that like a person that has follower.
No, right. Is he cool or was he like mad at you?
Just regular.
Can you bring that mic up?
He was regular at you.
He was regular at me.
He was like, yes.
No, we didn't say anything. I asked him to come on the show.
What did he say?
Hasn't replied yet.
He'll come on.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll get hold on. TJ Miller.
Mm-hmm. That would be so cool.
TJ Miller and Vivek Ramaswamy.
TJ Miller would be awesome.
Ramaswamy. I don't really know what happened, as you know.
Regarding what?
Like
the whole thing?
Yeah, what was said. I know what you did, but
the H-1B program is the program that is ostensibly used to bring skilled workers into this country, but it's abused. It's like grossly abused. It's hugely abused, and it doesn't even select for skill. When you apply to it, your chance of getting it, even if you're like a high IQ, super smart Indian, your chance of getting in is like 0.2% or something. It's gamed. You basically pay to have these like companies submit 20 applications on your behalf or whatever the process
who games
is.
It the best?
I mean, the Indians.
Oh, really?
It's all Indians, but there's a Cognizant. This company Cognizant here. There are companies that and I'm not up on all the facts. I just have the heuristics here. There are companies that specialize in bringing Indians over, and then I think some of them, the Indians get here and they have to pay a certain percentage of their wages to the company that brought. It's basically indentured servitude. It's kind of, and I think in most cases, if you're one of these Indians that comes here like that and you quit your job, you have to go back to your country. So companies, I guess, love it because they can pay them,
$7.11 an hour.
30% of what they would pay, or 20% of what they would pay a comparable white guy. And if the person complains or has a problem, they just get booted back to Kurga Jaga.
Wouldn't it be funny if the company was called 711?
So,
and they paid $7.11.
that would be funny.
Would you like a squeegee?
I forgot what started this shitstorm off, but Elon and Vivek and the Tech Bros. The Tech Bros are the All In podcast.
The one that talks like this?
The Jason Calcanis,
Sachs,
David Sachs, which those guys are
Smart
scammers. They're very sophisticated scammers, but they're
and
I wouldn't lump Chamath necessarily in with scammers. I mean he's I don't know if he's a scammer in his bones, really. He's pushed SPACs and Solana and this other stuff, and I've talked to like sharp Indian nerdy guys like Chamath, and they are like that. Like, it's not. Can you look at a picture of Chamath? Like, I don't want to write Chamath off entirely, but the guys that look like this, they are like, well, there's a way you can make money now. It's crazy. It's crazy the way they're making money. You have to do it. There's no other. It's as far as like
I enjoy listening to that All In podcast clips.
Yeah.
I don't hate. I don't have like I've seen 50 clips of it. And do you hate them?
No, I don't. I'm not well versed enough in any of this material really to hate anybody. But the vibes I get from David Sachs and the Jason Calcanis guy are just scammy vibes. And the nerds, when nerds clean up and get hair plugs or whatever, and they start to gravitate towards power and like this leather jacket shit that these guys do.
Yeah.
It's like
Stop.
once you reach a certain who Jensen Wang does that. Can you look up Jensen Wang? First picture, he'll have a leather jacket on.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. These guys, once these guys get to this point, they're like, yeah, I should start wearing a leather jacket. That would be badass.
Why?
Because I have the ear of Trump.
So?
What do you mean?
Trump doesn't wear leather jackets.
He doesn't?
I think Trump has.
Trump wears a blue suit with a white shirt and a red tie every day.
But I'm the guy.
Sure, but what's with the Moto Guzzi leather jacket?
You don't like Moto Guzzi brand?
No, I'm not a big Moto Guzzi guy. I'm more of a Harley guy. More of a Harley bagger racer guy.
This is what's the brand that starts with a D? Dionysi. It's a Dionysi. I think that the U.S. economy, you know how people always talk about growth of economy and stuff? I think this is, and again, I'm not a data points guy. I just go based off of hunches. I go based off of tweets, basically memes. But I think that the global economy in general, but the U.S. economy is slowly grinding down. Cost of a basket of goods. Consumer price index.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So consumer price index is, for example, this is just one. It's just like, what are you looking at? What are you choosing to measure, right? So the consumer price index is the basket of goods that represents how much it costs to be an American. And it's like a gallon of milk, a gallon of gas. It costs this amount. And a gallon, like there are things that, this is a Michael Saylor point. There are things that are just like basically free, like Domino's Pizza, Netflix,
flat screen TVs.
It's flat screen TVs. Remember, that was the plot of Fast and the Furious. The original one was they were stealing TVs, like they were fucking gold. So CPI is like a bunch of stuff that's it's basically free, and it's also stuff that like it doesn't really reflect wealth. It reflects the measure of what is needed to get by. So wealth would be like college education, healthcare, the stuff that you actually like want, right? Like you want your kids to be educated, you want your family to be healthy,
high yield savings.
You want to have a house, and you want to have some measure of wealth. Like you want your life energy that you're spending to be poured into some asset that you can preserve value in. But none of this is in the CPI. The CPI is like Netflix, Domino's, gasoline, fucking milk, stuff like that. Yeah. So the point being that measuring like how good are we doing as a country based on this Fugazi statistic, in my opinion, it's grinding down. It's only been getting worse for people. And we have fans who turn their lives around and stop smoking weed and get blue collar jobs and buy houses and stuff. And that's amazing, right? Yeah. But we also have fans who are like, I have $400 to my name, or negative $400 to my name. Like it's generally, it seems to me that over the past, we've been adults for 20 years. It seems that stuff has been sliding down, and the stuff that has been getting better, which is like cell phones, video games, what have you, it's just vapor. It's not really related to fulfillment, human fulfillment of potential or quality of life or anything like that. Like it's not getting easier for people to buy houses.
Buy houses, have children, procreate.
Right. The stock market, the S&P 500. I think that if it stops climbing, it'll be like a financial crisis that's worse than the Great Financial Crisis. Right.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Michael Burry talks about how because everybody does. I believe him on this. I don't believe him on the timing, but I believe that generally what he says is correct here, because everybody's passive investing in mutual funds. That it means there's like I forgot how this works, but there's like a limited exit door. Like once people start selling, it's going to be like
I heard that.
Just mayhem. I don't know. I should look into that. But
It's like Social Security times 10.
so I think to keep the musical chairs going, they're relying heavily on the promise of AI to bring more money. Not that AI is going to solve problems, but to bring more money into the system so that it can continue with economic growth.
That's what they think AI is going to do?
I mean, it is what it's doing right now. It's people are like bonanza, like we have to find the way to invest in AI. Like it's the hottest topic, and everybody's trying to figure out how to get in there. So I think it's a game of musical chairs that's grinding to a halt. And any company that has investors, like Elon, is not at all isolated from this. He's especially vulnerable to it. I think it's musical chairs that's grinding to a halt. I think that people are pointing to AI as if it's going to. The race right now is to make it so that AI can offset the loss in productivity of people all over the world. And I don't think it's going to happen. And I think what they know subconsciously is that they need infinity Indians to do the work for as close to free as possible in order for them to keep this going for another decade or two.
Doesn't it seem like AI would replace the jobs of people who make too much money to receive universal basic income?
That's incredible. That's very smart, because the one of the low hanging fruits that AI can actually do is write software. Write shitty software. And that's like a thing that's already happening. That's not vaporware. It's not like a thing where one day AI will be able to write software. It already does write code probably about as good as the average Indian does.
So what's the software guy gonna go do? That guy's totally on the couch.
Those guys are fucked. And the guys, the
commercial makers,
the guys who are making 400,000, that's a Silicon Valley like average. I think software engineers in the Valley make like 400K.
Mhm.
That's like a normal amount. I think they make like 800, or if they're good, like millions a year. But these guys better start saving their dough and realizing that and stacking away some of that money, because the writing is on the wall for all these software guys. They're going to get replaced by Indians, and they're going to get replaced by AI for real within 5 years, very soon. It's like happening right now. So the premise of the argument is that we need these highly skilled Indians to come in and write software code, and it's just not true, because the software code can be written by AI, and we don't need Indians in the first place. So these guys, I think they're worried about their stock prices at the end of the day, I think. And there's also on the Indian side of things, it's an ethnic thing. Like the guys that run these companies, Google, Microsoft, etc., they're Indians. I don't know how they've infiltrated their way to the top. The Google guy said that I mean, I guess they are just better slaves, so they would make sense to want them.
Well, will always akin themselves. In the 60s, they liked hanging out with the Italians because they were the mafia. In the 80s and 90s, they liked the blacks because they were hip hop and basketball and football.
Mhm.
And now it's the Indians because it's tech world.
Mm,
It's just it's always like that. So they always use a shield.
yeah.
So look at the Conor McGregor Jake Paul the Paul fight. Where's it happening? India.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, $500 million purse.
Damn.
You've never heard of it before in your life. Conor McGregor, where's it happening?
It's Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, not Jake Paul, the other one.
Logan
Paul. Yep. Yeah, it's fighting in I think it's armpit.
Anyway, that was a long-winded explanation, but I think that it's just two different versions, two different visions for the future. The vision that the All In podcast guys want is never-ending number go up, stock price, attention focused on tech companies, and whatever serves the tech companies, regardless of what kind of damage it does to civilization, doesn't matter.
That's a big one, though.
What's that?
Like if you were like, this is a problem,
Mhm.
my stock price,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Mhm.
I don't want people to not know I'm not doing well.
Well, they're fighting for their lives. They have everything to lose here.
Why don't they just fire, like cut costs? Well, they probably can't. They probably can't. They probably already tried it.
Well, they are. They're firing. At the same time that they're saying they need more skilled labor, they're laying people off.
Yeah, they're laying off $190,000 a year.
Yeah.
middle.
So the tech guys are fighting for their lives, and they're probably to some degree subconsciously saying that the only thing that matters is tech companies because that's the future, and that's like a Wired magazine headline way of thinking about civilization. And then what Americans want not to be fucked with and to just have a chance at getting prosperity and not having people messing with them.
When are Americans going to realize that worshiping technologies for fucking?
I think regular Americans do to some degree. But not having immigrants, that is a popular, I mean, that's what got Trump elected, is people's frustration with having America slipping out of their hands. I think most people, and that's also why it blew up Twitter so badly. Like these tweets that
what happened on Twitter? I don't know.
So Elon had a sort of autistic meltdown about how we need more Indians here, and pretty much everybody, like every post that was for the idea of keeping America for Americans had like 50,000 likes, 70,000 likes, that type of shit on there. So he got ratioed pretty badly. Ratioing is when you post something and someone replies with an argument against you and they get more likes than you did on your original post.
Oh.
And that's like a burn. That's like, oh, you fucked up. You posted some shit that people didn't like. So Elon got ratioed by like hundreds of people, and he changed the algorithm of the site. He changed the way that the website works to keep himself from getting ratioed. And now what he's doing is he's going hard mode on, the Rotherham in Britain.
Yeah.
Elon is like posting about how Britons cannot tolerate this mass gang of children by Pakistanis. Basically, he's taking an issue that's not related, or that's tangentially related to the H-1B stuff.
I like this stuff though.
Yeah, he's like hitting it like he's like, we need to do something about these Rotherham, which was when were those 10 years ago? And by the way,
Is that the color run?
No, this is 2011. It looks like it was starting here.
Okay.
So this is a huge deal, and I think that people need to die for this. But Elon is bringing this to light to take some of the heat off of himself for fucking up on the H-1B stuff.
Who got in his ear about the H-1B stuff, you think?
Probably the All In podcast guys. I mean, he's a tech guy. He's surrounded by people.
The PayPal gang.
He's surrounded by people who think that you should be able to bring Indians here if they know one thing about computer code. So anyway, website broken, had to change the algorithm. He banned a bunch of people. I've heard, I don't know if the bannings were, some people have said that the bannings were related to people using bots, which is when you use a fake computer account to like bump your talking point up. I haven't looked into any of that, but he's taken away verification from people's with like the blue checks and stuff.
Jake Shields.
Like he's kind of just been going nuts, and he's been engaging in censorship on his website after like 3 months ago being like the censorship is evil guy,
Huh.
So yeah, it's a pretty big about face on a lot of the things that he a lot of the reasons why he got popular with the people he wanted to get popular with.
I guess make less money is too much of a lug-headed solution to some of this stuff. But corporate payout and make less money would be a.
I think if make less money is on the table, then everything kind of falls apart.
Why?
Because it's like the great financial crisis where everything is tied together in this house of cards.
You're not going to die with less money.
They're going to lose everything. The All In podcast guys would lose everything.
So what? You have enough. Go away.
That's not an argument for those people. They don't want that.
It is for me.
It is for me too, but they're not going to want to hear that.
then I'm gonna get back to good old fashioned anarchy.
It's gonna happen.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm gonna
I mean-
get back to the anarchy argument where I'm like this. Well, if I made $4 million and I felt people like, yo, shut up, Nick. I'm tired of hearing your fat ass talk. I'd be like, got it. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
You'd never see me again. I'd legally change my name. I'd get whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be Kathy Wood. I'd be a lady.
Kathy Duddy.
Kathy Duddy, a little fuddy duddy.
Little fuddy duddy with little pink titties.
Yeah, a little pink titty. I get my nipples reduced to small.
Mhm.
I get, hi, smalls, please. I don't know. And then like to think like, oh, I have 56 million and da. If you can't exist without, like, there's no lifestyle beyond 350 million. Period.
Well, look, these guys, any
It's fucking gay.
guy whose face you've seen is addicted to the dopamine hit of fame.
Gay.
Yeah.
Gay.
But
I mean, let's be real. You know, you're famous.
I'm addicted to the dopamine hit of fame.
Like, no, you're not.
Even if they look like they're clean cut and they have good arguments and they're buying the right stuff and they're invested in the right companies, if they have a podcast that has millions of people listening to it, they're most certainly like they're in the limelight and they're going to do anything that it takes to stay there.
Gay.
Yeah.
Very gay.
Yeah.